Good evening, good evening, good evening, everyone. Sorry for the delay. We had a little technical difficulty, but I'm glad you guys are all here. Let me bring on my guest. We have Mr. AT2, the man that makes it pop, but we're going to be talking seriously tonight. But AT2 is here, and there is Mr. A.
Hey, thank you
Yeah.
guys for having me. I appreciate it.
And then we have Dr. Melanie. You guys know Dr. Melanie. She's here in chat all the time, and she's become a really good friend. So we're going to bring Dr. Melanie on board now.
Hey, everyone.
Dr. Melanie.
Hey, Angie.
Okay. Ooh, my goodness. So, guys, this trial, we're going to go through it. Today's testimony, we had testimony from 3 witnesses. We had the prosecution opening statements. Well, we heard from Jerry Blackwell, and we heard from Frank, who's also Matthew Frank. He's on the prosecution side, and then Eric Nicholson. He's representing George Floyd. So let's see who's in the house. Let's see who's here. Oh my God. Okay. Woo-hoo. Let's go see who's here. We have Mother Teresa, who was first in the house today. We have our wonderful Mina, who's in town, in house. Let's see. We have Nurse Jen. Welcome. We have Sherry. Welcome, Sherry. We have Grandma Six. Hi, Grandma Six. We have Queen of O'Hara. She's in the house. Susan Dawson is here. Tina Smith is here. Kels is here. Oh, goodness. Let me go roll down some more. Danica is in the house. Hi, Danica. We have Sherry.
A lot of people.
Let's see. I'm just making sure everybody's talking. Hi, Lynn. We have Lynn in the house. Everybody's chatting. Julie from Canada. Hi, Julie. Welcome. Paranormal Witch is here. Hi, Paranormal. Okay, let's see. Shaylin is here. Hi, Shaylin. We have Alex, Indiana from the UK. They're here. Ooh, Gina Maxey is here. Hi, Gina. Let's see. Get everybody in here. Oh God, let's see. Whew, okay, let's see. I think I've caught, wait a minute, I'm going down, make sure. Oh, Annette. Hi, Annette, welcome. I'm not trying to call people out twice. Jennifer Positivity, welcome. I think I'm at the bottom. Okay, we're good.
Good.
A lot of people.
Yes.
Yeah, anybody that comes in after you guys is just too bad because
Right.
we
love them anyway.
Yeah, anybody that comes in after. See, I thought I turned it off. Sorry, I do this all the time.
That's okay.
So,
so
anyway, I'm just gonna go ahead, guys. I have Mina has been working all day with me, and we've got banners, we've got photos. I mean, she has done an excellent job. So I'm just gonna put this here as we're discussing.
Shout out to Mina.
Yes, this opening statement. Okay, this is something. I'm going to put this picture up, and this is the timeline. Okay, here's the timeline. Let me take Jennifer Positivity off so everyone can see that. Hold on a second, Jennifer. I'm not being rude, but I'm gonna have to remove you. Y'all got to give me credit. I'm doing good for the first time having to do all these overlays. Okay.
Look at you.
So let me just, okay, you guys hearing me?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so Jerry Blackwell, okay, he is he's a special prosecutor, but he's also representing George Floyd. Okay, his opening statements were, on May 25th of 2020, Mr. Derek Chauvin betrayed his badge when he used excessive and unreasonable force upon the body of Mr. George Floyd. Um, Blackwell went on to say that Chauvin knew that Floyd was in handcuffs, unarmed and defenseless. You will learn that what happened in those 9 minutes and 29 seconds when Mr. Chauvin was applying this excessive force. Oh my God. He said that you will hear Floyd say 27 times,
Oh,
I can't breathe.
Mm.
You will hear him say, tell my kids I love them. You will hear him say about his fear of dying, I'll probably die this way. You will hear him cry out in pain. My stomach hurts. My neck hurts. Everything hurts. While he's crying out, Mr. Chauvin never moves. Blackwell said that for 4 minutes and 44 seconds, Floyd cried out for his life, along with bystanders, asking Chauvin to get up. But for the remaining 4 minutes and 44 seconds, Blackwell said Floyd was either unconscious, breathless, or pulseless. This is something else. So there is the timeline. Can you guys see that? There's a picture of him. 82. Are you seeing this too?
Yes, I can see the picture. It's hard for
Mom.
me to read the words, but
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
it's
can
hard
see the
to read the
pictures.
words. But
Yeah.
yeah,
Me too.
this is what we're working with. This is the time when everything started. So you see when he was called in, he's handcuffed, he's on the ground. Chauvin is sitting there with his hands in his pocket, his sunglasses on top of his head. Like there is nothing else. You could have got off this man. What do you think
Right.
about that?
For me personally, it was very disturbing because it's almost like Chauvin had an agenda. Like he wanted to prove a point, almost like, because you got to remember there was like a crowd around, so it's almost like he wanted to show like his power, that authority to everybody else. He was like, look at me, like really cocky. You know what I
Totally
Yes.
mean? And I
arrogant.
still feel like he's cocky, still
He
even
is.
Yeah.
today.
He is.
Even today, did you see him sitting there?
Hmm.
I
Oh,
did
I
not.
wanted to smack him through the TV. But just so we'll know a little about George Floyd, this is what the prosecution put up, okay? George
Hmm.
Floyd was 46 years old, father, brother, cousin, friend to many. Originally from Houston, Texas. I told you guys the other night that my sister-in-law actually knew his sister and everything else, and I didn't find that out till after the fact. So he excelled in basketball and football. He moved to Minnesota for a fresh start. Isn't that some shit? He worked at the security guard. Matter of fact, he worked at a security guard at the same place where Chauvin did off duty at. Okay,
Hmm.
including he worked at the Salvation Army Harbor Light Center in downtown Minneapolis. He lost his job due to COVID when the pandemic hit and the employee was and the place was closed. So that's George Floyd. That's who. Well, that's what they summarized. That's who George Floyd was. Okay. Um,
Hmm.
Myself, when they did the timeline and when they played that video, I was so mad. It just brought it all back again. And he's sitting there, even though he's got but you can see there is no emotion, no nothing. He was just like he was that day. So let's get to what the prosecution had to say. But and then Melanie, as far as we heard 3 witnesses today as well. We heard Jenna Lynn Scurry, who worked across the street from where it was happening at. She worked at the gas station.
Was she on the
Well,
gas
no, Jenna
station?
Lee is the dispatcher. She's the dispatcher. She worked. Jenna Lee was the dispatcher.
Oh, she's the
Alyssa,
one that called the
I
cops.
can't think of her name. She was
Right? Is she the one that called
no, okay.
the
No, she didn't call the cops. Jenna Lee worked at the dispatch center. She saw the whole thing on the screens, and she thought the screens had froze because he was in that position for so long.
Oh
She
God.
said she had a gut feeling that something was wrong. Then she called for another officer to come
Right.
because
She
yes,
called the police on the police.
yeah,
That's
she
what
called the
yeah.
police on the police.
Right.
And I'm like, oh my God. Then Alyssa Euler was the lady that was filming from across the street.
Uh-huh.
That was filming from over where her job was. She was standing in the gas station parking lot. She was filming. And then we heard from Donald Williams, who's a martial arts expert.
Oh, he was
So yeah, so
great.
let's just
Didn't help.
okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So let's just put this picture back up here again, and we're gonna read the prosecution.
Can't wait.
Statement. Hold on. That's gonna be him. I'm not laughing, but this man. Okay, so with the prosecution, I can't even. I mean, the defense. Okay, this man. We're talking about Eric Nicholson. He said he opens up. He said a reasonable doubt is a doubt based on reason and common sense. Eric Nichols said to start at the end of this case, we're going to talk a lot about doubt. Nelson spoke to the jury about common sense, which he called the application of sound judgment based upon a reason analysis. And that's what this case is ultimately about. Nelson said that the evidence is far greater than the 9 minutes and 29 seconds. That's what he said. That's what he said. Nelson said more than 50 Minneapolis Police Department members have been interviewed, including the responding officers and training overseers. More than 200 civilian witnesses have been interviewed, Nelson said, some of who did not see the actual event. He said that the medical personnel and first responders were interviewed. So he's just breaking down his case. He says that the case is more than about the 9 minutes and 29 seconds. He said Nelson asked the jury to focus on 4 locations: Cup Food, the Mercedes-Benz Squad number 320, and an Hennepin County medical examiner. He's not giving no type of defense, is what I got from what he was saying.
I don't even get what he's saying.
He's not saying anything. He was reaching. He reached. He didn't have a good, to me, he acted like he didn't care. He said that this was not an easy struggle, but you got to remember when Chauvin came, he was already there. He yanked him back out the car. So he said that appeared to continue to struggle to these officers, which you saw them standing around, he said it used to be called the hobble. Nelson is telling jurors how the medical examiner did not include any telltale signs of asphyxiation, no bruising, etc. found in the autopsy. Okay. He said that the jury will have to determine whether there was reasonable use of force. So let's come back over here because he's making me mad. I don't even want to read his statement anymore.
Right.
So,
because it's absolutely ridiculous. I mean,
so
go ahead.
No, I'm listening. Go ahead.
I was just like, I would hate to have to defend this guy because, unlike Grandma Taylor and unlike, there is footage, there is tape. The autopsy was labeled a homicide.
Yeah, I'm going to bring that up right now so you can look at this, Dr. Melanie, and I want you to look at it because there's 5 manners of death that you can choose from, and you know that when you do the autopsy, I don't know if you know, but when you do the autopsy, there are 5 manners of death. Okay.
Yeah.
So right here, they're telling you the press release. They're telling you what happened to Chauvin, and what they're saying is that cause of death was pulmonary arrest, complicated law enforcement, subdued restraint, and neck compression. Manner of death is homicide. How injury occurred: decedent experienced a pulmonary arrest while being restrained by law enforcement officers. So there's 5 different things for them to choose from. They have natural, accident, suicide, homicide, and undetermined. Do you see what's highlighted?
Yep.
homicide. So I've had people tell me that he died of cardiac arrest, he died of this, he died of that. Dr. Melanie, this
Yeah.
is where I need you at. Could you please explain to them what is a cardiopulmonary arrest?
All right. Everyone dies of cardiopulmonary arrest. Everyone. Your heart stops, you can't breathe. Okay, so of course he died of cardiopulmonary arrest because he couldn't get enough oxygen. You know, when you are laid flat, and he was already handcuffed, so my understanding is you're only allowed to lay someone supine like that to cuff them. So he was already cuffed. So
okay,
in there. But when you breathe in, if you do it now, you feel.
I'm doing it now.
Okay. Do you feel your stomach kind of come out? And now,
yes,
Yeah.
and your stomach goes in a bit. He didn't have room. His rib cage was against the cement, so he did not have room to take a breath. And so he was not getting enough air. The lungs are what oxygenates the blood. If you can't get your blood oxygenated through the lungs, which he couldn't, then you can't oxygenate your heart and it will stop beating. So everyone dies from cardiopulmonary arrest. Now, they die for different reasons, but ultimately that has to happen for you to die. You know, if your heart's beating and you can breathe, you're not going to die. You know, I guess maybe your blood pressure could bottom out, but still, then your heart would give out. So I don't even know, that point is ridiculous. Yeah, he did die of cardiopulmonary arrest from, anoxic, really. And that's if they
but that
don't
was attributing factors. That's what I want you to bring up. The attributing factors were law enforcement cutting. I mean, he was pressed down on his neck, and that was indicated in the autopsy report. Did you see the one? Because I sent it to you in your email. You didn't check it. Don't worry about it.
No, I checked it, but I got two of the same thing. I think maybe
that was my fault. Okay.
They got three things. Two were the same.
Okay, I'm sorry. That was my fault. I should have just double checked.
Question: What was it that you were asking?
Okay, so the attributing factors to his death. There was talking about the nanograms. It was an 11 nanograms of fentanyl.
Fentanyl, yeah. Okay.
Yes.
Well, this guy's had an opioid addiction for years. Now, I've never done a drug. I know you've never done a drug.
Well, how you know, girl? I could be a drug addict right now. You never know.
You told me the other day. Now, AT2, I don't know. I'm just teasing.
Allegedly. I'm kidding.
No, I know. But if you gave me 11 nanograms of fentanyl, I'm out. Forget it. I'm gone. I will die of an overdose. But ultimately I will die of cardiopulmonary arrest, with the overdose being the inciting factor. But for a person who is on opioids for 20 years, that is not going to kill. I mean, he was walking around trying to buy cigarettes in this place, by the way, with a counterfeit $20 bill, which is a misdemeanor. And I also think, I know cops are not physicians, but there are certain, if you don't know as a cop what agonal breathing is, or agonal breaths, and it just that's something they should know. And if you don't know what anoxic seizures are, it's basically, abdominal breathing is, if you've ever, anyone in the chat or anyone ever seen someone dying, you can tell that they're about to die.
Yeah, so we have Nurse Jen in the chat, and she is a nurse. Also, we have a question from 50 Shades of Bish. I have to go back and find it. Hi, Bree K. Welcome. Thank you for coming. Bree says, hi, everyone. Glad y'all are covering this. Much love to you, to your channel, Heidi. Thank you so much, Bree. Sharari, I see you're here. Oh, my God. I see everybody. I see people have joined late. Nurse Jen also says that George was claustrophobic in the car. They would have rolled the window down. Instead, they yanked him out. Yes, Nurse Jen. 50 Shades of Bitch. Her question is, shouldn't the women and the others videotaping be held accountable for homicide? I had that question. I asked it to Dear Yvette. Dear Yvette was supposed to be here. She had an urgent family thing with her father. She hasn't gotten any sleep. She will join us for the next panel. She might still slip in here if she got enough rest. But the answer is no, because if you remember, they were threatening these people with arrest. They were threatening them to get back. That's why so it was actually 5 cops, including it was 6, because there was a park cop there too. They were standing around like trying to hold the crowd back. So that's when somebody asked the other night, it's like, I would have done this and that. Well, you got people standing around with their hands on their guns, ready to shoot.
And mace. And no, you're not. And killing someone, you're not really running into that situation. But I mean, I thought they did great, but no, there are laws. It's a Good Samaritan law for doctors. Like if I see someone on the side of the street and I pull over to help them, and in helping them, I break their leg or something, they can't sue me.
Yeah. So Lynn,
the Good Samaritan law.
Oh my God. Hi, Susie. I have another one here. And they're asking, Lynn is asking, why didn't the other cop stop him? Okay, that is the big question. Okay. Derek Chauvin is the senior officer on duty. Once he hit that scene, he is senior. They do, but you can hear them asking him, should we roll him over? Should we do this? But, it's 4 of you guys, 6 of you guys out there, really, you could have grabbed this man off of him.
Right.
Nobody did anything.
They would have been in trouble. Then they would have been in trouble. You cannot put your hands on an officer. So
I'm talking about the other officers.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. And again, he is the senior officer there. So that's what you're dealing with. You have a senior officer, but we got to remember Derek has been what is it, 17, but he's been reprimanded. Oh my God, 17 times. 17 times he's been reprimanded. 17 times. So, with all of that being said, so let's look at the first witness they called, because they called Jana Lee, and we just basically discussed her. She's been in her job for 7 years. She says that, she rarely gets to see police activity going on, but this made her gut. Something was wrong. So she called the police to police the police. So then when she's up on the stand, Eric Nelson, who's the defense attorney, he questions her about knowing, if she was an expert on police conduct. That's the line of questioning he went with. Was she an expert on police conduct? Of course she's not. So then, but he got her to admit that, officers, that when you call officers to review the use of force, it varies and it takes time. But he didn't prove anything. He was horrible.
I feel like he was trying to trip her up and
Yes.
trying to prove a
Oh,
point and basically like, oh, well, she doesn't know anything about this, so how would she be able to tell? But at the end of the day, none of us are police officers, but we know human decency, and that's where she was coming from.
yep. And
Common sense
just
tells you something was
oh,
wrong.
somebody just asked a question, and I just saw it, and I think I highlighted Jennifer Positivity. She said, "How can you keep a job when you're reprimanded 17 times?
Good question.
Yes.
17 times." So I'm going to pull this. Hold on. I need to pull something, and I need to move it over here so I can see it. Okay. So you guys still see everything, right? You see me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we're going to look at, his summary, because he's such a, well, I'm not going to say he's an idiot. He's doing the best that he can. But Blackwell, okay. Huh?
I'll say he's an idiot.
No, we're not going to say that. So here's the thing. This is what got me when Blackwell read this. He said, Derek Chauvin, he showed them a photo of the police badge, right? He says it's a small badge that carries with it a large responsibility and a large accountability to the public. He said, he spoke to the jury when he did that. He says, never employing unnecessary force or violence. He said, you will learn that on May 25th, Mr. Derek Chauvin betrayed his badge when he used excessive and unreasonable force.
Yep.
And, I gave you part of that. He said he put his knees upon his neck and his back, grinding and crushing him until the very breath. No, ladies and gentlemen, until the very life was squeezed out of him. When he said that, and then he followed up with, let me give you this other one, because I have all my little notes jotted down. He said, Mr. Floyd did not die an instant death, but one breath at a time.
Right. And I wanted to ask Dr. Melanie, but you kind of moved fast on it.
I'm sorry.
Blackwell also mentioned about how, the amount of fentanyl and methamphetamine, that wouldn't have killed him, as, he was addicted to opioids. So, that amount wouldn't have killed him, which you touched on. But he also said that, also an overdose, usually people go to sleep and then that's it.
You're knocked
Like,
out.
this
Exactly.
shows that the heart, he was having complications and stuff like that. So I wanted to mention that too as well.
You're absolutely right, and that's what I was saying. He's walking into a store, he's with a friend. Like, this is not someone who's overdosed is like not alert. They're out of it. They're not saying I can't breathe. They're out of it.
Right.
So
27 times.
27 times.
27. 27
And
times.
if you
This
notice
thing.
in that video, which I
I
think
didn't hear
maybe
you.
Blackwell brought up, I said, if you notice in the video of it, that I think Blackwell brought up, you can sort of see him trying to lift his right shoulder
Yes.
because what Chauvin was on his left shoulder. So he was trying to lift up to be able to open his rib to get a breath because he could not move his rib cage. Anyone would die. This is not a drug overdose. And then didn't someone said that they couldn't get him out of the car, right? Didn't they say, like, they told him to come out of the car and someone was on each side of the car?
And they try to use the resisting arrest thing,
Yes, that was
as a reason.
It was the first two cops that got there.
Right.
He wouldn't come out. But then they got him out, they handcuffed him, and he set him on the curb.
Okay, but there goes his, want to say he overdosed on drugs. He would not be talking and resisting arrest, and he would he would have fallen out of the car when they opened the door. I mean, I'm exaggerating, but maybe not. I mean,
So
you can't have it both ways.
I had the photo of the autopsy when they opened his mouth, and I wasn't going to show that. The fentanyl tablet is still sitting on his tongue. He never swallowed it. And they said, yeah, it was right here on his tongue. And they said that when he was arrested once before, he ingested whatever he had. So maybe, but it was still sitting there. He hadn't swallowed it. It hadn't dissolved. You can see when they opened his mouth that it was still sitting there. And I did not want to.
I did see a picture of, and this was when he was alive, like they had showed it in the back of his mouth, but he didn't swallow it at all, like you said. But so on the autopsy, he didn't swallow when they opened his mouth. He didn't swallow it either. It was still in his mouth.
It was still there. Yep, it was still in his mouth.
Wow.
Actually, I heard it was Percocet, but regardless, who cares? That
right.
It wouldn't have killed him.
Okay, so AT2. When you watched the trial, when you watched the opening statement by the defense attorney, what did you get from that?
What I got from it was that he was trying to do this whole word salad and like spin narratives and try to confuse people. What I think, he was all like, take emotion out of it, he didn't say take race, but take organizations out. He was referencing like Black Lives Matter, like basically alluding to take race out of it. And it's all like, okay, like, yeah, we can take race out of it. Like, you still was on his neck either way.
Right.
If he was black, white, whatever, you were still on his neck. So don't even try that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. The statement was, the courtroom is not a political or social. And I'm like, what? He said, it's not a political or social forum. And when he said that, I sat back. I was like, what the hell is he talking about?
This is the defense attorney you're talking about.
Yes,
this is the defense
attorney.
Did you think I didn't see it. Did you think the prosecution did a good job?
Oh, yes, they did.
Yes.
They really did. They did. Good. So you had Jerry Blackwell that spoke today, and then you had Matthew Frank that spoke for the prosecution side. Okay. They did an excellent job. They really did. And Blackwell really, you have a lot of prosecution attorneys, and most of these guys are donating their time. They're not getting paid.
Yeah, Blackwell did it pro bono, right? He's doing it pro bono.
They're not getting paid. Yes, they volunteered their services. They're not getting paid at all. So I found that to be,
How are they not
amazing.
Paid? The prosecutor.
No, the prosecutor that works with the state.
Prosecutors.
He's getting paid. You're not listening. You have the other prosecutors, the other attorneys that are volunteering to assist them in the case. They are not getting paid.
Mm-hmm.
Jerry Blackwell, actually, he is there representing George Floyd. Yeah, he's there representing George Floyd. Yep, so his voice can be heard.
Yes.
So,
yes.
This is just, so let's go look at, with the 911 operator, I'm going to go back and I'm going to pull this statement because I wanted to read it. And let me see where I put it at, because I definitely want you guys to hear what she had to say and how he tried to trip her up, which I didn't think was fair at all, but he tried to make her sound like she didn't know what the hell was going on. And I really didn't like that. So I don't know where I put it at. Okay, I have it. Okay. So let me see. I'm sorry, guys. I am learning. I am doing great here.
You are doing a good job, definitely.
Heidi, you are a queen. You are a queen.
I'm trying to learn. I don't know, but I think I just messed up something. But anyway, let's see. Let me open this back up.
Yeah, you had muted. I don't know why you did.
Okay, so we got that back. Okay, we're good. Okay, we're good. I'm trying to get.
Are you trying to play a video, Heidi?
No, I'm not playing a video. I'm trying to get that statement up. I have it from the first witness. That's what I was trying to get.
Quick question. Can you guys see chats on an iPhone?
Yes. Down at the bottom where it says chat, you
Yeah.
click on that and then go to comments instead of private chats, and then you can see what everybody is saying.
Okay, I'm gonna do that because I did it and it went blank, but I'll try. Oh, I see.
Yeah.
You got it?
Hello,
You have
Kel, Nina,
Okay.
Mary H, Maria.
But I can't see
Okay.
you.
Everybody's in here. You can't
Yeah,
see
that's the
who?
thing on the phone. You can't see everybody. You can only see the comments.
Yeah,
So that's why you have to do either or.
So
Stupid.
that's why I'm on my laptop.
Thanks. That's
Right.
why I wanted to
Okay.
my laptop, but I would have been hours late. All right, I'm back. I just need to see more people. I like
Hi,
to see what
Maria.
people
Oh,
say.
welcome, 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 welcome. So with her, let me get this. I'm trying not to mess you guys up, and I'm trying to do this without messing anybody up. But with the first witness, and that'll be Jessica, we've already covered her. The second witness, I wanted this second witness. So we have the young lady who I told you, she's Elisa Euler. I mean, is she Euler or Boiler? I think it's Euler. She's across the street. She's out there videotaping, and so she said that they were showing, and the reason for them bringing her in is so they could admit all the video evidence that she shot. Because you have the city cameras and everything, but then you have her camera as well. So by putting her up on the stand, and you can tell she was nervous, she was nonchalant. So she was just, people kept saying that she acted like she didn't care. She was nervous because when they showed her the picture of her when it zoomed. Wait a minute, you don't think she was nervous, AT2?
No. I'll let you finish and then I'll say what I was gonna say.
No. Go ahead, say what you got to say.
My thing was maybe her body language was the way it is because she's probably not used to. She knows that this is a big case. I mean, if we were on trial and we had to go up there and speak, we'd be nervous too because we know how important this is. So that's what I was really thinking it was. She's probably not used to all this stuff. You know what I mean? Where Heidi, we know you've been in the court and stuff, so we know Heidi is comfortable with the courts and stuff, but she probably not.
Look, we're not going to talk about my past, okay? But my thing is, she's up there testifying. I get it. But when you go to court, I didn't like the fact she had that jersey on, I mean, maybe that made her feel comfortable, but especially if you're going to be up on the witness stand. Maybe that's all she had. I'm surprised the prosecution didn't dress her. You know what I mean?
Right. They didn't give her no clothes or nothing.
Isn't she really young?
Yes, she was young, but I'm surprised that they did not dress, because they normally give an allowance. You got to come to court. You're young. Yes, they used to give an allowance.
I didn't
a couple
know
of
that.
outfits. Yes, they did.
I thought they just gave it to like the client, which
no,
they don't have one because she was killed.
Nope, they would go out. They put you up if they have to fly you in as well. But then it might look like you're buying their testimony. But that's what they used to do. I know because my cousin was a prosecutor, so I know. But they would make sure that they're dressed.
I believe you. I just
appropriately to come into court.
Right.
So that's all I'm saying. But she can't, and then you notice she was slumping a little bit. She was like slouched back in her seat. I'm like, can you just sit up straight? I mean, not that it makes a difference. Yeah, her testimony is her testimony, but at least present yourself in a manner that, people, and that's what my attitude, she was nervous, but you're still, I mean, they got the video evidence. She shot it. She's telling them where she was. She didn't lie. When they asked her, do you remember what time she was like, no, I just remember that my shift ended at 10 o'clock. She didn't lie. But it was just like she was just so nonchalant about everything.
Right. And you know that this is going to be broadcast. Like, this is going to be a part of history, as this whole thing has changed the world. You know, not just America. This whole thing has changed the world, and it has sparked a real conversation and a real movement. You would think, just common sense, she'd be like, okay, I gotta be on my A game. You know,
Right.
I will say
See,
that about
but
her.
people are agreeing with me. Look at this. That's correct. They're supposed to dress in the presentable way, and that's not how she was dressed, and that threw me off. I'm like, who is this on the stand? And then I had to. I'm
Presentable.
serious.
She wasn't wearing a
Well,
crop top.
I guess the clothes are not, but when you, I guess it's just when you know that the cameras are there and you're going to be up there.
Yeah.
Look like her hair was still wet. I mean, no offense. That's just me.
Very sad. Can I ask you guys a question? And I want you to be 100% honest and in the chat, because now I've
Okay.
learned that Black people don't trust white. All this information I have learned, it makes me sad. Do you think white people don't care about this case? Truth.
Oh,
Ooh, no, I'm not going to say that. And the reason I'm not going to say that, some white people don't care about the case. Some Black people don't care about the case.
Well,
Some
sure.
Hispanic. So I'm just saying, but when you looked at the protests and everything was going on, I know for down in Mississippi and Alabama, the white people were in front of the Black people to keep, and they put a barricade around them. That was all on the news. So, you know, it's not just white people. You have people that just not going to care. But for the majority of what I saw and what I'm seeing, people are caring about this case because this was done. It wasn't just it wasn't just like an Eric Garner, you know. No, this was everything televised right then and there. And not taking anything from Eric Garner or Elton Sterling or anything else. But I'm just saying, you know, and yes, his wife was Asian. So I'm not going to say that white people don't care. I can't say that. And I really can't.
Maybe not as much.
But you have some people that may be a little ignorant to certain things, but not saying they don't care.
Yeah. And I can't.
Yeah.
Thank you, Maria. I'm going to put it up there. She says it's about humanity. Here, that's what it's about. Humanity.
And that's the truth. And just, you know, I can't speak for everyone, but
I think she cares and she's white. I'm taking it. That's why she's saying it.
Right. Now, for me, like, I believe everybody in the chat. Yeah, I do believe everybody in the chat cares. Like, I want to clarify that. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. I just wanted for me to clarify, like, I am sickened. I am sickened by it. I am truly, truly sickened by it. And I wish he didn't die, but the conversation that's been started, especially after his death, you know, I've become so much more aware of my white privilege. My son got his driver's license 2 weeks ago. The conversation I had with him was, he hasn't had a cocktail yet. He's in 10th grade, but I know he probably will. I don't play stupid. And I said to him, look, if you ever drink, if you drive, you're in trouble. Call me any time. I don't care what time it is. I will pick you up and you won't be in trouble. I did not have a conversation even once about being pulled over by the police, what he should do, it's really made me so aware. I mean, it's so sad people have to die for it, but really, I can't even. And I got 2 boys, and like,
Right.
I really hope that
Okay.
most
So
white people are really taking their white
I think
privilege.
everybody, for the most part, not just white people, and I think most people are actually watching to see what's going to happen because this, and I'm going to say, I think this one, and the vet agreed, this is going to change policing. This right here, and there's been a lot of changes, a whole lot. But as far as Alicia's testimony goes, like I was saying, they brought it in so they can show, her clips, video, so they can get everything admitted into evidence. So then you have the third person that they brought in, and that was Donald Williams. And he was a martial arts expert. He was
Right.
on his way to Cup Foods. He was talking about how they had been fishing and whatever, but he was walking, and then you see him walking, and he's telling them where he was at. He said his gut feeling would not let him go in the store. Donald Williams is the voice that you hear, the
Yeah.
black man's voice that keeps saying, get
Bro,
off of get off of him. Over.
Yeah.
That's the black guy that you keep hearing. And he said that the way Derek Chauvin had his hand in his pocket with his sunglasses, he was applying more pressure to him.
Right.
That's
okay.
just yeah.
So he said that, okay, here is the thing. Williams is a martial artist who works security jobs, so he's worked with off-duty PD officers quite a bit. Prosecutors want to use his wrestling and MMA experience to tell Jonas he knew the danger that George Floyd was entering, to tell jurors that he knew the danger that George Floyd was entering, that knee hold. Donald Williams is testifying. He's heard throughout the video telling the officers to check George's pulse. There is no doubt he will be in a better witness. I mean, he's going to be a witness because he's all over that tape. So the prosecution was laying the foundation that the witness testimony involves, how Williams saw, and let him talk about the things that the chokehold. He explains the knowledge of involving charcoal, that the prosecution is trying to show that Williams has impeccable memory. His memory is there. He remembers everything that happened. So I think with Williams' testimony, I think he really did a good job. He was detail oriented. They made little conversation. They were joking at certain things, like the way he was dressed. But I think dear Yvette is here. So I'm just like, okay. Hi, dear Yvette. I see you, sweetie. But when you look at the witnesses they had, AT2, were you able to watch the testimony with Donald Williams?
I didn't see his. That's the one that I did miss. I did get the notes about it, but I did not actually physically see it.
Okay, when you got the notes about it, I mean, the notes are basically what he said. What did you think?
Right. I thought for me he was pretty much on it. Like I feel like he was very knowledgeable about the situation, and I felt that he probably had one of the best testimonies, I would say.
So do you think, well, as far as knowing about the discomfort and the agony that George was in, yes, he does. But I think the 911 operator played a key role in that, because she herself knew that what was going on was wrong.
Right.
She
And
knew
that was kind of
herself.
like an outside perspective. I
Yes.
see that. Yeah.
Yes. So she called the cops on the cops. So, and I think with him being there, he said he watched it and he's yelling, and he needs to breathe, get off of him, turn him over, all of this. Wait a minute. Yvette, do you want me to drop the link so you can come up? I can drop the link so you can come up, Yvette. But I told you she might show up, but she's had a rough night, and I knew that. but it's just, but I would like, because I would like Yvette's perspective too when they're asking why didn't, you know, the other police officers do anything. Yvette is a cop, and then you have the bystanders there. So you have people asking, well, why didn't people do this? Well, like I said, you got cops standing there with their hands on their holsters and stuff, the hands on a gun. They're at the ready because you see the crowd started gathering. And, you know, and they're going to say it was crowd control. But that just only leads to unhide Lynn. Oh, did I hide Lynn by mistake? Oh, my God. I'm sorry, Lynn.
Oh, no.
How do I unhide her? Oh, I did that again. Oh, see, my
If you click
phone is
on the
sitting.
side, your moderator should be able to do it. If
Wait
they
a
click on
minute.
those three
Hold on.
dots.
I don't see the 3 dots. Oh, I got it. I got you, Lynn. I unhid you. Okay. Lynn, I'm so
How'd
sorry.
you do
Let me
that,
move this.
Heidi?
Oh, I don't know. My bracelet and my screen is so sensitive. Lynn, I am so sorry. I did not mean to hide you. Please forgive me, Lynn. She said, shame on you, Heidi. I'm so sorry. I moved my bracelets, my thing that, yeah, my screen is really sensitive.
Hi,
Okay,
everyone.
Yvette.
I try to make sure.
Hi,
Can you guys
sweetie.
hear me? Is my sound okay?
Your
I
sound's
can hear
fine.
you.
Okay. I
You can
had a
hear me?
question. Yes, I hear you, baby. 50 Shades of Bish asked a question. She said, why didn't the other cops do anything? Could you shed some light on that for us, please?
I think I'm getting like a, I don't know if it's on my end. Come back and come right in because I'm getting like a, you guys are frozen and it's like echo.
Okay, drop out and come back in. Okay,
let me
drop
try
out.
Yeah, I don't want to mess up your show. Let me go out and come right back in. Okay, Heidi.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll wait.
Okay. Let's...
Okay. Yeah, because I want her perspective. I really, really do. Because she didn't drop out yet. Okay, let
Drop
me
it out. There you go.
Yeah, I just did. I dropped her out. So let's see if I bring her back. Yvette,
No,
are you
she's gonna
there?
have to go all the way out and come back in.
Okay, well, I see her
You'll
there.
hear
She
a
hasn't
beep
gone all the
when
way
she
out.
comes back in.
Anyway. Okay. Yeah, she's okay. She dropped all the way out this time. Okay, so they would wait a minute. Let me see what she's saying. But anyway, I want to ask Yvette that question because it's a valid question. She is an officer, and I want to know, what do you do when your senior officer is there? Okay, she's here again. Let me. Hey, ma'am.
Hey. I'm not
Okay, can you
sure
hear
what
us?
was going on. This is terrible.
Can you hear us?
Yeah, I
Yvette?
can
We
hear
you
you,
fine.
but I'm getting the echo on my end.
Oh.
Let me see. I'm gonna try.
Fine to us.
I'm gonna try to adjust.
Yeah, you sound fine to us.
Huh?
You sound fine to us.
Hold on. I can't really hear you guys. It's like you're frozen. Let me see if I can adjust this audio. Hold on.
Okay.
So
is that a little better?
You're fine to us.
Yeah,
How
you've
do we
always
sound?
been fine.
Oh, see, she okay. Yvette dropped again. I don't know what's going on, but so let me just put in the chat.
And wasn't it found that the counterfeit bill, it wasn't counterfeit, it was real?
It was real. Yes.
is that true?
Yeah, it was real. It
Yes.
wasn't fake, it was real.
Okay.
Oh
Yvette,
my gosh.
can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes, I can hear y'all perfectly.
Okay. So So Yvette, let's just
Mhm.
like I said, 50 Shades of Bitch asked earlier, okay?
Mhm.
She asked earlier, why didn't the other officers on the scene do something?
From actually viewing the tape, from what I saw, it was a classic case of um fear. Sometime in a lot of police departments, they have this code, and that's what, a lot of people are trying to deal with today. They got this code of silence. They'll stand right by, know when things are unethical, and they allow it to happen, which makes them just as guilty. You know,
Is it
that's what
like
I
a
saw.
ranking code? Like you don't
It's like
tell your
I'm with
senior
Mr. Chauvin, you guys, I'm sure you knew that he was there for a while. He had already had some issues. He was pretty much known as the
Mhm.
bad boy of the
Yeah.
Yep.
crew. In each
Yeah.
police department, it's always one of those types. They get their hands slapped a couple of times, and they think you know, that I'm not going to curse, but you know what I'm going to say. But they
Right.
think
Yes.
they're above the law
Yeah.
because they had that badge. And I think those newer cops, which if you look, you would see that the majority of them that was along with him wasn't on the force but for so long.
They're
However, I
new.
For
think
so
they
long.
had the
Yeah.
fear. Yeah, and it was a fear factor thing, like, damn, if we snitch on them, you know what I'm saying? We're gonna be known as this and blah blah blah. They want to fit in, they
Yeah.
trying to get their career started.
Yeah.
So that's where the problem
Yeah.
came in at. And I hope that helped answers your question. But what you said, and you saw me hit it in the chat, I said when the prosecution did an amazing opening job today because they
Yes.
literally laid out the direction
I
that
got
this trial is going to go. And let me tell you what the secret weapon is, and I think a lot of people are missing that. That dispatcher, there was a camera. See, in
Yep.
all police departments, even on your streets, there's certain cameras that they put up. There is somebody
it.
24 hours, 7 days a week, able to view those cameras. And when this
Mhm.
incident was
Yep.
going on, that dispatcher saw everything, and she knew that something wasn't right. So that is where they're going to have a hard time, you know what I'm saying, trying to prove that this was due to distraction, or this was murder. And this is where they're going to suffer with trying to prove it. Defense got their work cut out for them.
Now
They
my
got their work
question
cut
to you. So Yvette, my question to you is: they were saying that they used a hobble technique. A hobble. What is the hobble technique?
The hobble technique pretty much is, now if you're speaking as far as with the camera system and things like that,
Yes.
that's from my understanding. That technique, they it's going to be used as a big part of the case. That video alone right there, yeah, you got the bystanders video and different things like that, but they
Mhm.
absolutely are going to this will be a guilty verdict. I promise y'all that, from that video footage.
Mm.
This is definitely going to be a guilty verdict. Now, the problem is going to be, how much time is he going to get?
Right.
Well,
Right.
okay, with the second degree manslaughter, second degree murder, second and third degree murder, those are 15 years apiece. Well, supposedly,
Right.
and then second degree manslaughter is 47 to 51 months.
60, right.
But if
What
they
is
Right.
run
third
concurrent,
degree murder? What's third?
Huh?
What is third degree murder?
They're pretty much saying
no
that,
intent. It's just the same. There's no
yeah,
intent.
no intent in
But
third
isn't
degree
that
murder. And
second
that's why I
degree?
was so shocked. Yes, I was very shocked that
Mm.
they did not throw that out. This is
Yeah.
murder, period.
Period.
It's not second degree,
Absolutely.
it's first degree. This was intentional. The man, we clearly heard this boy begging for his life. I can't breathe, sir. Sir, he even called his mother at one point, and I think that's when I lost it. You know,
Right.
Yeah,
His
I
mother who was
He
he
like
dead.
did.
reached
mom.
out. He reached
Yeah.
out as if he
At
saw.
that point,
Oh,
I knew he was dying right then and there.
he was.
And
He was.
that guy that man sat on him, and he was very much aware that this guy couldn't breathe. It was just a
He
matter
said
of
it
time. I think
27 times.
yes,
Pretty sure he
yeah,
was aware.
Okay,
yeah.
so
Sure.
yeah, on his misconduct complaints, I said it was 17. He had 17 years. He had 18 complaints on his official record. 18.
Mm-hmm.
Two of which ended in discipline. They don't say what happened with the other ones. And they're talking about his accommodations and what he received. And this is what the defense brought in, and the judge allowed this testimony.
Yeah, I was shocked
Okay.
by that as well too. I don't think anybody that's been disciplined as a police officer 18 times, then there's already an issue. Now, they do have different programs set up for police officers, believe it or not, because a lot of police officers are struggling with a lot of kind of things. Their marriages are a hot mess. They're struggling financially. Here they're taking this oath, so you're very limited of what you could do as far as different jobs and different things like that. But I believe a lot of people are going to be fired as far as management and the chain of command that allowed somebody with 18 different disciplinary actions to be back on the street. Maybe he could have just been a desk cop, just took reports all day. But there was a red flag somewhere that a lot of them missed.
I'm glad you brought that up. Let me tell you about this red flag. You had 8 correctional officers at the Ramsey County Jail filed a discrimination complaint against supervisors at the jail with the Minnesota Department of Human Rights, alleging that during Chauvin's brief stay before his transfer to state prison, non-white guards were not allowed to work on the 5th floor when Chauvin was where he was being held at. So they're trying to say, because you have black guards or Hispanic guards, that they're going to do something to him. Is that crazy?
Yes.
The complaint also alleged that a guard saw a white lieutenant sit on Chauvin's head, and that they're trying to say that he's being mistreated, and that she permitted Chauvin to use her cell phone. So they're saying that you have this white woman that's sitting on his bed, not his head, sitting on his bed, and she's allowing Chauvin to use her cell phone.
Yeah,
so they're saying that he was getting special treatment when he was at the county facility.
I don't doubt it.
I can imagine that.
Yeah.
I muted my mic. We're getting a little echo again. I don't know.
Yeah, so the judge is allowing the fact that, but here's the best thing. I'm gonna tell you what the best thing is. That Chauvin, so he received a life-saving award for placing a handcuffed man on his side, on his side during arrest, which hospital staff later saved the man's life. So that means you knew with this man laying flat on his lungs, he could not breathe. And that incident is important because it showed Chauvin's knowledge, reasonable similar incident what George Floyd experienced in 2020. He's done it before. He saved the man's life for having him flat, turned him on his side. So he knew what he was doing. And I keep seeing that picture with the sunglasses on top of his head and his hands in his damn pockets. He knew what he was doing.
Smug and arrogant. It's disgusting.
Right. Very arrogant.
Yes, Lynn. So he knew what he was doing because he saved the man's life in 2017 by turning him on his side.
Look at me with I'm so blind. I'm a magnifying glass.
Yeah, so anyway, here's Yvette again.
Oh. I want to
have to start my
so Yvette, I see you. I'm just saying he knew what he was doing.
I'm gonna leave. I'm gonna have to restart my device. I'll be right back.
Okay, well, you restart. All right, baby. So that hurt. That hurt him right there because he had knowledge of what could happen.
Didn't they say that chief of police of Minneapolis is going to testify for the prosecution.
Yes.
Yeah, that's pretty damning. You know, I mean, when the chief of police of Minnesota is going to testify on the prosecution side.
Okay. Just here for the tea. No, I'm looking at the evidence, and please just be respectful in the chat. So whatever the evidence presents, whatever they can prove, that's my mind is not made. Whether he murdered him, period. That's murder. My mind is definitely made up about that. It is murder. Whether or not the prosecution can prove it and have it proven to a jury, that is a different matter. Just like Casey Anthony, just like all the other cases. There is no doubt in my mind it was murder. I don't care what level, second, third, whatever, it's still murder.
Yeah.
Because you knew what you were doing. So so that is that. Now, whether the jury can actually come to that same conclusion with the evidence that will be shown, that is something different. Completely different.
Just
they
could.
And you know what? It's funny because that's why I didn't want to answer that question that Melanie asked, because when she asked, do black people think that white people care about this? I didn't want to answer because I feel conflicted in a different way. And that's why I said, as far as the chat, I feel like the chat cares. But in my heart, do I feel that white people care? I would have to say it's a 50-50, because
that's when it comes to ignorant,
ignorant stuff like that, that's why it's hard to have these kind of conversations,
But we have to.
You're right. But when I see stuff like that, it takes me to a different level, and that's why I didn't answer it.
I understand.
I'm sorry. It's not taking me to a different level. It's the way you come in and say things. Okay. Now, if you would have asked me if I believe it's murder, I'm going to tell you yes. Do I believe Yvette said it? She thinks it's going to end in a guilty verdict. Do I hope it ends in a guilty verdict? Hell yes. I really do, because that's what it is. The man showed no remorse at all. None. Even to this day, he shows no remorse. So, and then when they let that other statement in, yes, I'm fine with that. Yeah, you can come in, but there's a different way you can express yourself. Now, if you would have came right out and asked me, I would have told you. It's the ponderance of the evidence. So what the evidence shows. But what hurt them was when the judge allowed that valor that he received. The defense wanted that in so bad, but it hurt you, because the same thing he saved a man's life for is what ended up taking another man's life. So that's all I'm saying. I don't know if it's personal or not. I don't know, Grandma Six. I'm not going to speculate on that. I don't know. But from what I understand, from what was brought up through the last few months, Chauvin and Floyd knew each other. They actually got into a tussle before. I'm going to drop the link for you again, Yvette. So they got into a tussle before, and even the owner at the club said she was yelling at him to get up off him. So he has put George in that position before. So, and she will be testifying as well. So I'm just saying that for right now, I'm looking. Well, I'm not. I hate to say looking forward, but I am going to be watching the evidence. I'm going to watch the people that they're bringing to testify. They're thinking about bringing in Dr. Biden. We know that Dr. Lindsay Thomas is coming. She's the chief medical examiner, and she trained the other medical examiner, Andrew Baker, and they both came up with the same conclusion that the cause of death, the manner of death, was homicide. So let's just wait and see what happened. Yvette, do you see the link? I dropped it. So AT2, what do you think?
As far as what?
as far as the medical examiners and stuff go, with the people there, and they're going to be called now. Dr. Lindsay also studies body tissue, and she has done over 5,000 autopsies. So that's going to be an important thing as well.
Right. I really feel that the reason why they're gonna be having so many doctors testify is because, like, I think, to look at it from a medical standpoint, that's what I really gathered from it, because I feel like that standpoint and like that information and having that validation into why he was murdered.
That's correct.
Okay. All
They're,
right.
they're going to explain sort of, what I
Because
did.
because basically the defense is try to make try to make George Floyd a drug addict. That's basically their defense.
Right.
Yep. So that's what we're coming up with, and I'm telling you guys. So I'm definitely going to be watching this trial. I might give you guys update like in the middle day, but I know I want to do weekend, like like Friday. The trial wraps up. We can cover everything that was discussed, during the week with the different witnesses. Just give a brief synopsis of what was seen so we can all discuss it. And that's what I want to do. And that's what I'm going to do, because this is a if anybody can cover all of this stuff with Bill Cosby and all this stuff with all these other people that's going to jail for sexual assault, this trial right here will set a standard. And I believe it.
Right.
Yvette, what do you think, baby? Yvette, can you hear me?
Oh, gee.
Yvette, can you hear me?
Yes.
Now, I'm going to tell you what I said, and y'all think, and so I'm not being funny, but I'm going to say it. I was talking to somebody. So we think that the protests were bad in May. I made a statement. I said, I guarantee you, if this doesn't go the way everybody thinks it's going to go, well, the majority of people think it's going to end up in a guilty verdict. I said, they're going to tear everything down in Minneapolis, but the Prince, except the statue of Prince. I did. I said that. Yeah, and Lynn, I get it. Because with Casey Anthony, just like I said, it's the preponderance of evidence. They have to prove it. We knew the little girl died. Can we say it was murder or homicide? We can't. We can't say it.
Right.
We don't know. The prosecutor couldn't prove the case. Yvette, can you hear us now?
Yeah, the connection.
Yvette?
This is nothing but the devil.
Okay.
The connection is terrible.
I'm getting ready to wrap this one up, and then I'm going to do another one probably next week or probably Friday. But give me your final thoughts on what, I don't know if you were able to even watch any of it today.
Okay, just in case you guys can't hear me, I couldn't really hear your question, but everybody has a right to their own opinion, and let's all be open. We all have our own personal opinions. From what I see, there's enough evidence to get a conviction. Okay, I pray that justice prevail, because right is right and wrong is wrong. It's not about color. It's about the whole entire injustice of the situation. Right. And I want everybody to keep that in mind. If this happened to you, whether you were Asian, white, black, purple, green, I don't care. This was injustice and it played out in front of the world. I saw a chat earlier today, and Mina actually had sent it to me. And if you guys saw some of the disgusting things they were saying, yay, George Floyd. I bust out in tears on top of the stuff that is going on, because my thing is, who would be so evil? But I'm asking everybody to keep an open mind. It's not about black and white. It's about right or wrong. Okay. Yeah. Keep that in mind. I'm going to be right with you, Heidi and AT2 and Dr. Melanie. I will be right with you guys. Trust me. So good. I'm going to be watching. Just like and I pray that all the evidence is laid out Everybody has a right to defense, but at the end of the day, it's it's only right or wrong as far as I'm concerned, and that's with anything we do. So
Yeah.
they can play it up, play it down, however they want. At the end of the day, this man is dead. And for what? Over a fake $20 bill, real $20 bill, or whatever. Everybody has a
Yeah,
right,
because now they're saying it's real.
I
Yvette,
know,
girl.
you know,
So here's the thing. I wanted to ask you before
that's
we drop this. I mean, so you're in the DMV when all of the
right,
protests were going on. What did you think? I mean, because you got the looters and people get confused. There are protesters, there are rioters, and there are looters. The protesters were basically there during the day, some during the night,
right,
but they were still peaceful. Peaceful.
right.
Then you fools that go around looting and breaking breaking into stores and stealing lamps and shit. For what? That had nothing to
And those
do with
are
George
some
Floyd.
people, there's some people that somehow are paid by outside entities to actually go to protests and actually break into things. You got they're infiltrators, if you ask me, actors. Those are the people. It wasn't the people that were actually out there marching for peace. They were doing it peacefully. They wanted to be heard, but there were people that just took it upon themselves to do the whole looting thing and stuff like that. Had nothing to do with George Floyd. This was a way to commit a crime and an opportunity to commit thefts and robberies. All kinds of stuff was going on down here. As you guys know,
Yep.
we just got over the Capitol riot down here. Y'all see how that played out. However, you wouldn't believe how many heads done started to roll. And it's just unfortunate. But
But I do because I'm sorry, I do because my son is involved in that investigation with finding these people. But let me
yeah,
tell you something. When that happened, and I'm being honest, when I said it and people said no, when Black Lives Matters was going on, they were out there with mace, the rubber bullets, the this, that. When that in, oh my God, Yvette, you already
they
know where I'm
were
going with this.
they were well prepared for that Black Lives Matter protest. When I tell you the military was involved, the security
Yes,
was so high you couldn't even see straight. Now, see, the thing that's going to come out as far as with this Capitol riot, it's going to come out that this was planned. Ray
yep,
Charles, may he rest in peace, is blind, and he could see
he
that.
can see it.
Okay,
Yep,
Right. It was an
he can
inside
see it,
job.
girl.
yeah, this was an inside job to one of the most protected places in the United States of America. Let me tell you, they sat back and allowed this to happen. The resources were there, and those resources were told to stand down. Okay, and when that ex-president said that stand up and show out, that's exactly what was already planned. Now, the people that were inside that job will be held accountable. I promise you that. I promise you that.
I believe you, baby. But I want to say thank you. And guys, I know it's a hard conversation. And like I said the other night, I'm getting so sick of all of these TV shows skating around the issue and throwing a little color to it, and then you off to doing something else. This is a
Mhm,
conversation I've had with my friends. This is a conversation that I've had with people. I mean, even when it happened, when we were still in the office working, it's a conversation that needs to be had. The same thing happened to Trayvon Martin. It was a conversation that needed to
mhm,
be had. And to
mhm.
me, it felt like it was swept under the rug.
Mhm.
That's
Just
my
like
opinion.
Sandra Bland, just like Sandra Bland, may she rest in peace.
Yes.
Where's the protest and the injustice for that? There's a lot of things that we sit back and pick and choose as
Oh,
Americans.
yes.
We have got to stop that. We have got to treat everything with full force ahead. We need everybody to come together. At the end of the day, this is one nation, one world. We have to coexist. You know what I'm saying? We
Yep.
have to be able to live in it, but we must address all of these issues. Okay. If not, it will continue, and
Yvette,
it's
look at
unfortunate.
the comment on the screen. Look at the comment that I left on the screen for you.
We all need more talks like this. Yes. Yes. Wow.
And if she's talking about Fidel Castro, that was murder as well.
Absolutely. National Guard for Black Lives Matter. Yep. Oh yeah. They
So,
were well
yeah,
prepared. When I
but
tell you
I
they
just,
threw us on 12-hour shifts, Hell, it even spilled over to 16-hour shifts for Black Lives Matter. But ironically, they didn't want much overtime for those Capitol riots. It was really weird to me. They didn't put out a call for all national agencies. That's, we're emergency essential. Like the nearest cop better report when that stuff went down. It took 3 to 4 the National Guard, but they should have sent out a call for every officer in every area to respond. They didn't even do that. So, like I
thought
say,
the mayor
man,
of DC
the power.
did that. I thought the mayor did it. I really did.
Huh?
I thought the mayor of DC said she put out a call for the National Guard.
She did, but they also have the systems set in place. Like when that stuff started going down immediately, we watched those people bust through the Capitol before they could get.
Oh, she dropped.
Oh, we lost
Okay.
her.
Bummer.
Yeah, we lost her. But guys, we're gonna wrap this. Oh my God, it's been an hour and a half. I know we can talk about this, but I'm gonna do a little synopsis. Hold on, let me bring you that up, and I'm gonna put it. I'm gonna
I
put
don't
it
know what's
on
going on.
IG. Yes, I'm here. So I'm gonna do a little synopsis of what we discussed. So a little summary.
Okay.
So I'll put it up on IG. So for the people that didn't get to be here, but we had a really nice crowd. I mean, and it's just a conversation that needs to be had.
Right.
I love all you guys. AT2, Dr. Melanie, Heidi, just in case the stupid thing kicks me out again. I'm not on
I
my
love
laptop.
you too.
Love you
Yeah,
too.
You're
I would
wonderful.
definitely
Wonderful.
be studying, have my notes, and we'll be ready.
Okay, so I don't know. Well, next Monday we're gonna do ask the doctor. So I guess we can do a wrap up of the week. You know what the whole week for like early Saturday evening, or I don't know, Yvette, but you work on Saturday, so I'm trying to figure out, how to fit this in with your schedule
I
because
can
I
still
would like
join
to
in.
do a wrap up.
Just set up a time, and I'll still come in. I don't know what's going on today, but I think I need to just check my settings. But thank you
Okay,
guys
check
for
your
having me.
settings. But I want to know, what's a good time for everybody because I would really like today was the opening day. Opening day, we wanted to discuss what we've heard so far. I would like to
Mhm.
do like weekly updates, or if anything breaking happens, I'll probably just come on and do one quick one. But I would like to do,
Mhm.
what we heard during the week, how this testimony is going. So that is what I really want to do.
Right. Probably every Monday.
Awesome.
Every
Yes, that's
Monday?
awesome.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
all. That
Okay.
would be
Oh yeah, because
We
awesome.
don't.
Yvette, what? We can do it on Sundays because Yvette is off on Sunday, Monday.
Yeah, yeah,
Oh,
So
that'll
we
be
okay.
can
good.
do it on Sunday.
That's
Yeah,
fine.
whatever.
You know,
That'll be
Heidi,
great.
we can always do, ask the doctor. I
Yeah,
know.
yeah, because it don't have to be on Monday, but we kind of
No,
already said Monday. So, but
we
let's just see.
don't
But
have
I
to.
would like to do the weekly wrap up on Sunday so that way we'll be
Mhm.
fresh from Monday and we'll know. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
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 yeah.
that sounds
Okay,
good.
I like that.
People in
Yeah.
the chat, come with questions. We're just gonna be four
Yes,
of us, and we will
yes,
answer
guys. So here's what we're gonna
anything we
do.
can.
So we're gonna
'Cause
do a
you
weekly
gotta
wrap
have.
up on Sunday. Okay, weekly wrap up on Sunday. So if you guys watch the trial, Yvette's going to be here with us. She's
Okay.
our resident officer.
Yeah.
I am going to ask my son, can he come in one time as well?
Oh yeah.
And I'm sure he's going to want to hide his face, but they've already seen him already. But anyway, um,
Yeah,
I'm
got
going
a
to
cute
ask my
face.
son if he wants to. I'm going to try to get him to come in. So that way he can speak on it as well, especially when it comes because he's there. He was involved with all the Black Lives Matter stuff as well. Yvette, I did
Mhm.
tell my son about you, and I told his wife about you too. And I said she's right there in the DMV because he's right there in Bowie. So he
Yeah.
just bought that. Yeah. So, but anyway, I'm going to get him to come in as well. But I want to do it on Sundays. We can have a recap of what happened during the week. That way, start Monday. It's fresh in our minds what happened, what was discussed, and we can still follow what's going on. How is that?
Yeah. That'll be beautiful.
that.
Thanks to
Yeah.
everybody in
Okay.
the chat.
I want to
That'd
say
be
thank you
awesome.
to everybody that came in. I'm learning my overlays. I will be getting better.
You did
Trust
great.
me, I've been working on this all day. Mina, Mina, thank you. Mina,
Yes.
Mina
Thank
has
you,
been
Nina.
back and forth, back and forth. Mina has been doing a great job. I just want to say thank you all, and my voice is leaving again, but it's my allergies. But thank
Yeah.
you. I appreciate it. And, please, you guys watch something, you hear something, if you want me to bring it up or discuss it, just send it to me in my DMs. I really appreciate everybody here. Wait a minute. I'm going to hit y'all up on Twitter. If you can drop you're going to hit us up on Twitter. Okay.
Thank
My
you,
Twitter is
Heidi.
the same
Thank
thing.
you for having us.
Oh
It
my
was a
God,
great
thank
Yeah.
you. My
discussion.
Twitter, all of my social media is the same thing. It's going to be Heidi Black. That is my social media. And again, guys, thank each and every one of you for being here and listening. And as I said, just be respectful. Everybody's opinions are appreciated. Just everybody, just be respectful to each other. I'm going to say good night to everyone. That's what I made tonight. I took the last piece of salmon, that salmon that I had.
Stop
I
it.
had I had the shrimp and the crab meat
Stop.
and everything, and I stir fried it, and I took some
Ooh.
rice and
She's
I
so
added.
annoying.
Oh my God, it's
So
delicious.
annoying.
So
Ooh. I'm coming over.
She's like showed me her lunch yesterday. It was like I'm like, I had cereal.
Now I'm hungry, Dr. Melly at 82.
She's so
I'm
annoying.
gonna do a little short cooking thing, like when I
You
do
should
salmon and stuff
do
like that.
yeah.
But even when I
Yes,
do
Heidi.
lobsters, I stuff them and everything. But yes, I'm gonna do
Oh,
that.
Mm,
so
And
nice.
guys,
Mm.
tomorrow we have Emily Lieber coming on tomorrow. She's USA Today's best-selling author. She'll be here
Yeah.
tomorrow at
Awesome.
5 Eastern, 4 Central. Emily has written 7 books, and she's
wow.
been on the Today Show. She's been on Oprah. She's got me nervous, and I'm never nervous. So, but
You
I'm
got
looking
it.
forward
You
to
got it.
having a conversation with her. And she's also Marge Joseph, ghostwriter from The Real Housewives of New Jersey. So you guys saw her last weekend
Oh,
on The Real
yeah.
Housewives of New Jersey. So
Did
she
you
will be here
notice that
tomorrow.
Margaret's nails changed colors during that? Meaning they must have done many retakes.
Oh, like a
Yeah, they
reshoot?
did
Yeah.
Yeah,
retake. That happens
they
all
went
the
from
time.
like white to
But
black.
thank you, Crystal, for being here. I really appreciate it.
Hi,
Uh,
Crystal. Hi,
Okay,
Grandma
come back and
Sick.
leave a comment. Good night, everybody. Thank you, guys.
Good night,
Love all
everybody.
of
Bye.
you.
Good
Thanks.
night, everyone.
Bye.
Mm,
Bye,
Bye.
guys.
bye.
Bye.